and welcome back to our channel. This is Siddhi and you're watching me on For Women in India. In today's video, we'll be talking about COVID-19 situation in India and also address some of the most pressing questions related to the pandemic. Over 18.4 million COVID-19 cases and 2 lakh deaths have been recorded in India. India is already struggling with the problem of class and caste-based discrimination, and unfortunately, the same has brought out its worst side during the COVID-19 outbreak in India. A report prepared by the Ashoka University stated socially marginalized groups would be at a higher risk of mortality due to COVID-19. Apart from healthcare, the pandemic has exposed the country to various new problems and issues related to education, privacy, job security, food scarcity, internet shutdowns, and police brutality. Another very serious problem that emerged during the pandemic is data manipulation. Lack of accountability and transparency has been a topic of discussion in India even before the COVID-19 outbreak. However, the common public is paying a huge price for it now. It has been argued at various instances that the data related to COVID-19 cases is being manipulated. A medical journal, The Lancet, has also slammed the Indian government's false optimism and highlighted that the World Report has also noted that transparency of the data on COVID-19 cases and deaths, especially those underpinning the case fatality rate, has been questioned in India. An epidemiologist at the University of Michigan who has been following India closely, Brahma Mukherjee, has also said, "From all the modeling we have done, we believe the true number of deaths is 2 to 5 times what is being reported." Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the World Health Organization's Director General, has rightly said that we're not just fighting a pandemic, we are fighting an infodemic. The question here comes is, why wasn't India able to prevent the second wave? It is pertinent to note that a country that witnessed a significant decline in the cases between September 2020 and February 2021, and the Health Minister Harshvardhan had asserted that India was in the end game of the COVID-19 pandemic, justifying the government's decision to export medical resources to other countries, is now unfortunately struggling with a horrifying second wave. A BBC article suggests that people letting their guard down by attending weddings and social gatherings, political parties holding rallies and religious gatherings have actually contributed to the second wave in the country. In the same article, Gautam Menon, a professor of physics and biology, has also added that new variants might also be the reason behind the surge of cases in India. However, he has also said that India could have postponed or delayed it and lessened its impact. Further, lack of health infrastructure, lack of testing, lack of oxygen supply, rampant violation of COVID-19 protocols by the government as well as the public are few of the other reasons behind the second wave in India. Another question that we need to address is, why is data pertaining to COVID-19 important? In a time of crisis, one can either choose to remain in denial and create a false optimism in one's mind, or actually understand the problem and do something about it. The latter is the kind of optimism that we need right now. Dr. Cheruparamnath Varun, in one of his tweets, has rightly said that we do not need the correct data related to COVID-19 cases because it's an important tool for the epidemiologists for spreading negativity, but because we need it to first understand the problem in order to solve it. He has also pointed out how the concerned governments are using a restricted definition to define a COVID death, excluding patients who died with comorbidities, the simultaneous presence of 2 or more diseases or medical conditions in a patient, not entering COVID status in death certificates, and not testing and restricting the criteria. Proper data collection is required to design effective countermeasures, prepare and train the healthcare professionals, and identify the worst hit sections. However, different news sources and government officials have been accused of manipulating the data since last year when the pandemic started in India. Such manipulations not only spreads misinformation but also hampers government's ability to deal with the problem. You can't nip it in the bud if you don't know where the bud is. The government must understand that the right way to win the battle against the pandemic is to control the spread of the virus and not the data. It is unfortunate to note that the vaccine distribution centers have already started running short on supplies within the first few weeks of the vaccination rollout in India. The ugliest side of the pandemic has to be the family members of the COVID-19 patients running from door to door and begging for oxygen cylinders. According to an article published by WION, India produces more than 7,000 metric tons of oxygen per day, but the demand has shot up tremendously in the recent few weeks. The requirement for medical oxygen has increased by 76%, from almost 4,000 metric tons per day to approximately 7,000 metric tons per day. Professor Rajendra Pratap Gupta, former advisor to the Union Minister, Government of India, and a leading public policy expert, has written a detailed article titled "What India Could Have Done to Better Handle the Deadly Coronavirus," in which he rightly pointed out, on 30th January 2020, when the WHO declared COVID-19 a public health emergency of international concern, India should have locked down all international arrivals immediately and should have invoked the Epidemic Disease Act 1897. He further noted BJP in its election manifesto had promised to set up an institute of big data analytics for predictive sciences. If that was done, we could have a clear trajectory based on predictive models of the impact and the preparedness needed. Still, the time to set up within Niti Aayog. In a country facing the worst possible consequences of a pandemic, many political parties, along with the ruling party, that is BJP, were campaigning in state elections in 5 states by addressing massive rallies until recently, when the Election Commission once again warned the political parties that they would face actions and cancellations of permission for events if they did not follow the COVID-19 protocols in place for campaigning. While the blame games between the center and the state governments continue, but the real question is, when and how will the COVID crisis end, remains unanswered. It is in our control to follow the COVID-19 safety guidelines and keep ourselves and those around us safe. That's all for now. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell to receive the notification of our latest videos.
Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update.